All right, folks. I completely understand rap feuds in Hollywood, but when did they begin to involve kids? Really, when did disparaging someone's children become acceptable? Although the Cardi B and Nicki Minaj drama has always been intense, it's now veering into more sinister, intimate, and to be honest, depressing territory. Are we truly witnessing to rap titans disparage one another by making disparaging remarks about fathers, families, and even their infants? For example, when did it become okay to make fun of a disability we are unaware of? Or to label someone's child ugly? Guys, Cardi and Nicki are both doing awful work. But let's just dive into what is likely one of the most disgusting online arguments we have ever seen. Therefore, the release of Cardi B's new album marked the beginning of all this drama. Additionally, it has been stated that Nicki destroyed Cardi B's new album sales in a slew of since-deleted exclamations. Cardi B, apparently, reacted to her accusation that she had exaggerated the sales of her new album, questioning the reason behind Nicki Minaj's constant reference to her album. She then informed Nicki that since she was in high school when Nicki came out, she ought to be evaluating herself against her friends. Cardi claimed that the insults had caught her off guard because she had just been cooking peacefully at home when her day was destroyed by Nicki Minaj's comments. Did Nicki just start discussing Cardi's sales without any prompting? I'm not sure. Was it something that transpired behind the scenes, or something Cardi said that set everything off? I'm not sure. What I can tell you, though, is that when they both brought up each other's children, their feud quickly became quite ugly. Cardi claimed Nicki had seen several fertility specialists since she was unable to conceive due to all of them tampering with her eggs. That's not what I said. Nicki immediately retaliated, saying, "Am I the Barney B and the flop? I have never seen or spoken to a fertility doctor in my life. Given that the queen has never met or spoken to a reproductive specialist in her life, am I lying about fertility? Is I'm the one sleeping with Trade while hubby's sleeping with Sweetie and taking my large gooey hole for alimony? When the queen presents her medical records to the courts, I will be sued." Rock bottom, huh? Once more, we triumph. I also have your medical records, Desiree. According to the lawyer, Barney will be homeless in 36 months. Thank God. Fortunately, we are currently enjoying cake. Barney B, some women plan their pregnancies, which I know you are unaware of. You peed and were filthy. Oh no? We don't allow ninjas get us while we're pregnant for the next trade that got 4 other people pregnant. She added, continuing and throwing more shade. The devil has come to collect. You see? Your soul was sold. You lost even if you made a pack. Listen to this now. The powerful name of Jesus has neutralized you. You will now curse your enablers more than your hazy brain could ever comprehend for every word you say about me or mine. I intentionally became pregnant for my soulmate the year after getting married to my first love. We had it planned, you see, Barney. It's embarrassing to see your medical records in the strip club. What about your dad? In any case, Nicki also warned Cardi in another tweet that she was going to shrivel up and die inside. She warned that one day people might use the same derogatory language against Cardi's own daughters, reminding her that she had previously called black women bugs and monkeys. She continued by emphasizing that up until the point at which she was genuinely prepared, she had always employed double protection in every relationship. Then she drew the line with a crisp edge. That was the distinction between the queen and what she referred to as a soon after. Nicki additioned Elizabeth a second statement clarifying that she didn't think infertility should be used as a drag, even if she had never gone through it herself. She emphasized that the only thing anyone could do was to picture what those ladies went through, pray for them, love them, and support them until someone genuinely understood the suffering they faced while always condemning themselves. Furthermore, she maintained that it should never be boiled down to a joke. Cardi replied, "Girl, it's your son's birthday," at which point she mentioned Nicki's son. "Why are you dedicated essays to me on Twitter? For heaven's sake, visit Chuck E. Cheese." She then disputed Nicki Minaj's assertion that she had seizures as a result of the injury she had after their notorious altercation at Harper's Bazaar Icons party during New York Fashion Week in 2018. Cardi claims that it was Nicki who was shaken from an OD then, unless she wanted Nicki to reveal the truth to her son. She warned her not to bring up her children ever again. Then she was like, "Hold on, I'm not done with your family." She began by stating that her father had never been incarcerated for a single day. Instead of bringing her family's problems upon her own, she advised Nicki to go get a detective and run the records. Additionally, she cautioned Nicki against blaming her bloodline for such vile accusations. Cardi then began making vehement accusations against Nicki's family history, saying that her brother had a stepchild and that her father had been a crack addict. In a final outburst of rage, she ordered Nicki to post whatever medical records she might have and warned her to stop bothering her. Cardi went back online too, right? So Nicki wasn't about to leave her alone. Furthermore, I am aware that you all prefer to wait until it is too late to heed my counsel. However, I don't hear that music. It has been infused with wicked spirits whose only objective is to infuse your life with a sense of drama. We reprimand it to return to the hellish depths. It won't stand. Get rid of it, kid. The next thing we knew, Culture had joined the conversation. Barney B and Culture Vulture. Nicki remarked in a tweet, "You two, Culture Vulture, are ugly." She also said, "Culture a vulture and her mama a crow," in other posts. It would have been foolish to overlook Wendy eating the crow. You flip heavy tongue, and they've played you to do it to yourself. Culture is beautiful, and you know that your hate is so deep, dark, and nasty because your son nonverbal, because you messed him up with them. Cardi said in response to Nicki's son after she naturally defended her daughter. "So you're envious of all the children and their joy. Papa Bear, I'm sorry you can't speak in banging spoons because your mom couldn't put the down." She said, referring to Papa Bear, "I apologize that your mother didn't even notice you on your birthday, because she's such a someone who is dark-spirited, obsessive, and hateful. I sincerely apologize." Hardy began to retaliate in a string of more tweets, accusing Nicki of harboring severe personal trauma from her past, which she said was the reason she woke up feeling so depressed and attempted to inflict that suffering on others. After reminding Nicki of the purportedly negative things she had wished upon her while she was pregnant, she pointed out that what she's seen was karma manifesting itself in Nicki's own life. Cardi even went so far as to make fun of Nicki's family situation, saying it was evidence of the energy she had put out into the world, and that she had a 5-year-old who can't spell his name and is tiptoeing around the house. I can't even read some of the tweets aloud because they are so overwhelming. So believe me when I say that it has been harsh and heavy. To be really honest, I'm just amazed that celebs have this much spare time. I always see them working nonstop, unplugging, and then rushing off to some opulent vacation to relax. Or perhaps spending time with their missed family when traveling. Yet they're just like the rest of us out here, scrolling. The worst thing about this drama, though, is that the ramifications of this back and forth will be outrageous and possibly even frightening. Indeed, in the heat of the moment, the tweets may be removed, but let's face it, screenshots are permanent. Furthermore, they cannot be taken back once they are out there. I mean, consider it. Culture is currently 8 years old. At that age, you can attend school, sufficiently aged to have students who are already overly internet savvy. Although it may not be appropriate for children to own phones, many do. Additionally, those without older siblings frequently joyfully share what they observe on the internet. What will happen, therefore, if one of Culture's classmates calls her unattractive and repeats the same remarks back to her in class tomorrow? That is no longer a rap feud. That could be a child being tormented because of adult drama. It also cuts both ways. Cardi makes fun of Papa Bear. Bi-Def, Mute, and Slow all carry the same terrible burden. Even at 5, he is still a little lad. And when given ammunition like that, children can be ruthless. Before he even completely comprehends what is happening, he may have to cope with stigma, haunting, and rumors if that persists. Is dragging defenseless children through the mud really necessary? For what purpose? Too many sales. Man, hurry up! Last but not least, I'm curious as to when the bars became more about kids, unrelated to the beef, and less about skill, hits, and wordplay. When do the adults in the room determine that enough is enough? For example, personally, I'm a little let down by the way things turned out. But please share your thoughts about Cardi and Nicki's remarks in the space provided below.